Jennifer just returned to the stage that once rejected her, and what happened next has the entire world in tears. Is the Queen officially taking her throne back? In the high-stakes arena of reality television, few stories carry the weight of a 22-year debt finally being paid. Tonight, we are tracking a television event that has sent shockwaves through the industry, the return of Jennifer to the very stage that once infamously showed her the door. For over 2 decades, the name J. Hud has been synonymous with the greatest mistake in voting history, but during the latest Disney Night broadcast, that narrative finally reached its boiling point. We are breaking down the moment the superstar moved from the contestant's circle to the seat of, the raw emotional collapse that brought production to a grinding halt, and the growing evidence that a massive power shift is brewing behind the scenes of the world's most famous singing competition. They say time heals all wounds, but for Jennifer, stepping back into the halls of her greatest public rejection felt less like a reunion and more like a confrontation with a crime scene. To truly understand why Jennifer's recent appearance was so heavy, we have to revisit the infamous 2004 Three Divas scandal. It remains one of the most controversial nights in broadcast history, where the 3 most talented vocalists, Jennifer, Fantasia, and La London, all found themselves in the bottom 3. When Jennifer was sent packing in a lowly 7th place, the public outcry was so severe that even music legends like John labeled the voting process as fundamentally broken. For a young woman from Chicago with nothing but a dream, that wasn't just a loss, it was a public dismissal of her destiny. Since that night, she has navigated a career defined by stratospheric highs and unimaginable personal struggles. She has faced the most harrowing family tragedies imaginable, events so dark they nearly led to her permanent exit from the spotlight, and yet she found a way to keep singing. Returning to this specific studio wasn't just a guest appearance for a Disney-themed night. It was a profound psychological milestone. Our sources behind the scenes report that the atmosphere was thick with tension the moment her motorcade arrived. She wasn't arriving as the girl who lost. She was arriving as a titan of industry who had conquered every major award in Hollywood, carrying the prestigious EGOT status like a shield. Yet, as the blue and white lights of the stage hit her eyes, the professional armor she's worn for 20 years began to crack in real time. She reportedly spent several minutes in her dressing room in absolute silence before the cameras rolled, herself to face the very institution that had once told her she simply wasn't good enough. The irony was palpable to everyone on set. The show that once deemed her the 7th best now desperately needed her star power to save their ratings. This wasn't just a performance for the cameras. It was a quiet, powerful reckoning for a debt that had remained unpaid since the early 2000s, proving that while the show moved on, the industry never forgot who they let go. When the music for the night's biggest performance started, the professional facade didn't just slip, it shattered, leaving the production crew wondering if they needed to cut to an emergency commercial break. The moment that has since gone viral involved contestant Richardson's soaring rendition of Circle of Life. As investigative reporters on the scene, we observed an immediate shift in Jennifer's physical demeanor from the very first note. This wasn't just a polite reaction to a talented singer, it was a visceral, body-level response to the lyrics themselves. The Circle of Life took on a literal, haunting meaning as Jennifer sat in the seat of directly at a young woman who stood exactly where she had stood 2 decades prior. As hit the crescendo, its eyes didn't just well up, she began to visibly tremble in her chair. She wasn't just crying for the contestant's success, she was mourning the version of herself that didn't have a mentor like J. Hud sitting in the chair to protect her. The breakdown was so intense that it felt like the oxygen had been sucked out of the room. It is critical to remember that Jennifer's journey has been marked by the circle of life and death in ways that would break most people. She has navigated the darkest possible transitions of her closest family members and had to find a way to perform through the sheer weight of grief. Seeing that cycle of ambition and hope on the idol stage triggered a massive release of decades of suppressed emotion. Even the veteran judges sitting beside her seemed unsure of how to react as Jennifer leaned forward, buried her face in her hands, and let out a sob that felt like it originated from her very soul. This was not the typical, theatrical, TV crying we often see for the sake of a viral clip or a golden ticket moment. This was a woman being hit by the tidal wave of her own survival story. The production team chose not to edit the moment down because it was impossible to ignore. It was the most authentic piece of television the show has produced in the modern era, reminding the global audience that beneath the superstar exterior is a human being who still feels the sting of every door that was once slammed in her face. While the tears on camera were undeniably real, the whispers coming from the executive trailers suggest that Jennifer's guest appearance was actually a high-stakes audition for someone else's job. Our investigation into the immediate aftermath of Disney Night has revealed a massive surge in viewer engagement data that has network executives scrambling to rethink the show's future. Since the episode aired, social media sentiment has shifted aggressively toward a Replace the Panel campaign, with Jennifer's name at the very top of the list. While the current lineup, including country superstar Underwood, has its own dedicated following, the raw, unfiltered energy Jennifer brought to the desk has highlighted a perceived lack of soul in the current judging style. Circulating among industry insiders that the chemistry between the current judges and the audience is beginning to plateau, and producers are reportedly desperate for the spark to revitalize the franchise for 2027. There is significant speculation that internal discussions are currently regarding a multi-million-dollar, multi-year offer to bring Jennifer back as the definitive voice of the panel for season 25. This creates a fascinating, albeit controversial, narrative, the contestant who was once wronged by the system returning to become its ultimate authority. However, this potential power play is not without its own storm of drama. Fans of the current judges have taken to online forums to defend their positions, leading to a digital tug-of-war between various fan bases. Our sources indicate that Jennifer herself is deeply humbled but strategically hesitant, as her own daytime talk show is currently a massive success and consumes nearly all of her professional bandwidth. But the lure of the idol stage, the chance to officially own the house that once evicted her, might be a poetic ending that is too perfect to pass up. We are also looking into reports that Jennifer's potential contract demands include significant creative control over how contestants are mentored, as she wants to personally ensure that no other powerhouse vocalist suffers the same early exit she did. Whether this was a one-time emotional homecoming or the strategic opening move of a new reign, one thing is certain: the landscape of the competition has been forever altered by her presence, and the production office may never be the same again. Jennifer's return wasn't just a TV segment, it was a cultural full-circle moment that proved you cannot keep true greatness down for long. She walked back onto that stage as a conqueror, but left it as a human being who reminded us all that our past never truly leaves us, it only prepares us for the crown. As the ever-permanent judging seat continue to reach a fever pitch, we have to ask the ultimate question: is Jennifer the missing piece this show needs to reclaim its former glory, or is she now simply too big for the platform that once let her go? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. Is it time for a total judge shakeup? For now, the story remains open, and the world is watching.